The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
We are 23 days away from a state election. Don't we love election campaigns? Today's the last day to change your voting details or to get yourself onto the roll by 6 o'clock tonight. Right, Premier?
Well, apparently so. Well
Yes.
done, Nat.
Thank
We're right
you.
on top of it.
But Roger, Natalie did introduce you as the Premier. But,
Thank you very much.
Now that there's
election's
no
been
government's in control,
So it's a caretaker situation?
yeah, are you still the Premier? What's happening here?
Yeah, so technically I'm still the Premier, but we're in what's called caretaker mode, so I'm not allowed to make decisions, particularly on behalf of a future government. So, we do...
I want to get him in the shit just in case.
So technically still the Premier, but I actually have to write a letter. This is one of these great
to the
traditions.
Governor?
No, I write a letter to the Director General of the Department of Premier and Cabinet, and literally the words I have to use is, I will be busy over the next few weeks.
Get out. Really? Is that true?
That's right, yeah. So you have to take on all the responsibilities of government.
Gosh. I was watching you on the news yesterday, and I was watching the interview with the opposition leader, who people think is Libby Madam, and it's not.
No, it's the other guy.
What's his name again?
What's his name?
Yeah, he's the leader of the National Party.
Exactly.
And what's his name?
I actually forgot again. What's his name?
Shane Love.
Shane Love. And I felt so sorry for Shane Love because Shane Love was
Because
sitting there.
literally no one can remember his name.
And so Shane was maybe asked that question, but he was talking about how the fact that I don't run a presidential style debate. It's not about me. It's about my party's about the people that get the stuff done, and no one really needs to know me. That's the words of someone that realises no one knows you. And I feel really sorry for him because he has been the opposition leader and no one has even acknowledged him for his entire time as the opposition leader. Do you feel a bit sorry for him?
It was an unusual circumstance.
It's true to say that being the leader of the opposition is the toughest job in politics.
Yes.
It's a hard gig.
Who are you talking about? What's his name?
Well, the leader of the National Party.
I don't know.
But the thing is, he will never be Premier.
No.
Because even if the coalition got up, the Nationals wouldn't be the majority
that's
holder,
right.
so it would be the leader.
It would be the leader of the Liberal Party.
This is the best it ever would be for him,
Yes.
and it wasn't great.
And nobody knew.
I've never heard of. How many seats do the coalition government have? The National Liberals have
in the lower house.
In
They
the lower
both have 3 each. Now, the Nationals used to have 4, and the Liberals 2, and then one of the Nationals jumped ship to the Liberals.
That's 3
So
apiece.
they've both got 3 apiece. But because the leader of the National Party was already the leader of the opposition, the situation just remained the same.
You probably answer this in a slightly different way, but so
What's your favourite sexual position?
Roger, to have a healthy
Follow that
government,
up by saying Roger. Keep going.
Premier, to have a healthy government, you do need an opposition to be able to keep you on your toes, right? And we haven't had that in the last 4 or 5 years.
Who do we have? His name's... I can't remember it.
There you go. So would it be better for our state, though, to have more representatives from the other side of the fence to be able to make sure that you're doing everything correctly and you're blowing budgets left, right and centre?
I am literally the wrong person to ask that question of. But look, let me just say, look, politics is a contest, right?
Yeah.
On the 8th of March, people will have a choice. They have a choice between a government that's kept the economy strong, made it the strongest in the nation, created over 340,000 jobs.
Got the train to
Ellenbrook. And got the train to Ellenbrook, or the other mob, who represent a risk to everything that we've gained so far.
Yeah.
But I always talk to my team and say, look, it doesn't matter how many people on the other side, the people you have to think about are the people of Western Australia. Stay humble, always be respectful when you're talking to the community, make sure that you're working on behalf of the community. Yep. So it doesn't matter how many people on the other side of the parliament, we are a disciplined crew, right?
Yep.
And we make sure that we are paying absolute respect to the community, and on the 8th of March, we'll have all our policies in front of the people of WA so they can make a choice.
On the 8th of March, I want to know what your personal sausage plan is, because I know there's going to be a lot of photo opportunities, and I know there's going to be a lot of sausage sizzles. So do you know that I'm going to take a photo here and that's where I will eat a sausage, or are you eating sausages offered to you at every polling booth, and how many sausages can you take?
Yeah, no, I think I'll stick to the one sausage.
Okay,
Yes.
one
Do you do a
photo
slice or something?
sausage.
Because some of them have a good cake stall as well.
It's tricky, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for a decent cupcake, right?
Yeah.
So it's a real bind. It's a tension.
Yeah.
It's a tension on the day.
So
But
one sausage eaten
One
to completion, or just a photo bite?
how can you not eat it to completion, right? It's
I don't know. Some people are busy.
It's from Kwinana, mate.
And then
Of
a
course he's
sneaky
eating
chocolate
it.
cracker logo.
Yeah, big shout out out to Bertram Primary School. They're in Kwinana.
That's your local polling place?
They've always done the best sausage sizzle.
Really?
But I'm open to ideas, right?
Okay.
You know, if there's other primary schools in Kwinana that think they can compete with Bertram Primary School sausage sizzle...
Do you do the rounds? Will you go... Obviously, you cast your vote somewhere, but will you do the rounds and go to other polling places just to go, hey?
Yeah, well, you've got to... there are people, volunteers turning out in their droves, to hand out how-to-vote cards to support you. It's an incredibly humbling experience, actually. So I always make sure I go around and try to...
So you're going to see the volunteers rather than the voters. Yeah.
Well, yeah, the voters, by and large, have already made a decision by then. They're coming into the polling booth to make their decision. Then they'll be beaten up by people holding how-to-vote cards.
Yes, I know, you run the gauntlet.
How-to-vote cards. It's an extraordinary part. I mean, this is stuff that we take for granted, right? But right around the world, they absolutely admire this process of democracy that we take for granted. And in WA, we're so lucky. The 8th of March, we'll all have a choice. It'll be a contest, and we want to make sure that people understand that my team, WA Labor, have got the plan to keep this state strong for the future.
Or you can vote for Libby or the other guy.
Roger, there's a couple of things. Two-pointed question here.
Yep.
Number one, you get the opportunity to win to be Premier of this state on your own. So you've won it outright.
You inherited the title.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how would that feel to you? And secondly with that is, what's your plan for the future? We've known that Metronet's been the thing for 10 years, right? And the federal government pitched in, the state government pitched in, and it's been a long-going thing.
Yep.
What is the next port of call?
Yeah, look, well, on to the first question, this is an extraordinary honour and a privilege to represent the people of Western Australia, and the opportunity to present me and my team, in the election is an extraordinary experience, and it's one that I'm, humbled by, and I greatly enjoy. And this is, I'm a politician, right? We love the campaign. We love this part of the.
I just watch your campaign and think, not you in particular, but politicians think how exhausting. Yeah. But you really relish it, don't you?
This is the last, it's the last quarter.
Yeah.
It is the last half of the last quarter. We are going hard.
You've got to win the last quarter to win the last time.
I remember voting last time. This was in the big election, and I was speaking to some of the volunteers that you said you go down there, and that blows my mind that they volunteered. These people, but they're so into politics, and they really care about trying to get. And
they believe in what they're.
How many people do you experience that really care about politics instead of just like reading it and then getting angry?
Well, wherever I go, I obviously have the opportunity to engage with people right across the community that are interested in the future of the state and what sort of society we live in. And going back to your question, Sean, what's next?
Yes.
Well, it's the diversification of our economy and the renewable energy revolution that we're about to have. So it's continuing to decarbonise our economy, making sure we become a renewable energy powerhouse. But by producing a lot of renewable energy, we can make stuff here. We can make stuff in WA that previously we've just exported rocks and
Donald
crops,
Trump.
right?
Yeah.
We want to actually make sure that WA is also a manufacturing sector.
Yeah.
So there's a cost, though, associated with manufacturing. That's why it went offshore and everyone was getting all their stuff from China, and then everyone's gone, oh, my God, we're now at the behest of them.
Yeah, so here's the opportunity, right? If you can access affordable, reliable and green energy, all of a sudden you change the business model for manufacturing. So, obviously the thing which has impacted us in the last few decades has been the high cost of labour in Australia.
Yeah.
If all of a sudden energy becomes almost a zero cost input to your manufacturing process, it makes sense to actually process the stuff here.
Yeah.
And that's the huge opportunity that we have in WA.
Well, quickly on the environment though, when is somebody in Parliament going to stop the fact that you can hand out so many leaflets on voting day? honestly, like we are in a digital age, and here at Nova, I want to make us paperless, and we put in an order for iPads. We're going to see if we're going to get them for the studio. And
thumbs up in the corner.
Yeah, but yet. Like the amount of paper, and literally people grab it and walk around and put it in the bin.
Take a photo of it on the way in.
Why don't you be the person that stops that?
Well, we are in some respects. So let's set how to vote cards aside at this stage.
Yeah, no, we need the cards, but the pamphlet.
But what we've actually done is banned a lot of the plastic at polling booths. So this year you won't see the awnings, the big plastic awnings up everywhere.
Next is paper.
Because we want to actually reduce the impact of plastics and the carbon footprint of an election. Yeah. Ultimately, we will move more towards electronic communications.
Yeah.
Maybe use the back of all your internal emails that you're going to shred.
Look, we know that social media is now becoming an absolute dominant force when it comes to elections.
And then we do have to look after the older community that aren't on it.
Yeah, when I was a kid, you'd be sticking leaflets in letterboxes.
Yeah,
and
of course.
most of your time in a campaign is in the photocopy room.
I got one in my letterbox the other day.
Yeah, no, it's we still need it. It's still part of the mix.
Yeah.
But increasingly, electronic communication is really taking over.
Yeah, you can get them online overseas.
But
You can get iPads for like $20. I wouldn't plug it in, but
but some of the reforms we've made will drastically reduce the amount of plastics we have around a polling booth.
So, Rog, the Rotto swims next weekend. You normally start it. Are you doing that?
No, I'm not doing the swim, but I am starting it. Absolutely, yeah. So that's going to be a very early start to the day, but I'm used to them at the moment, so that'll be easy.
that's great though because Natalie and I've walked the City to Surf once, right? And then other
The
times,
4K.
Yeah, other times we've been at the end, just at the end part, and you get dressed in all your gear and it looks like you've done it.
Yeah.
So
Nobody knows any
So
different.
that's actually really great, right? So just wear your outfit, you look like, oh God, he's a fit guy. Hey, on that, we were talking earlier on this morning about smaller, powerful people.
Yeah.
Now, you are not a giant man.
6'2"? No,
Yeah,
that's
no. Does a man feel insulted when they're called a pocket rocket? Or is like what? How do you feel about being called a pocket rocket?
I'm on board with that.
You like pocket rocket?
I'm happy with pocket rocket.
Right, great. Because
There's 100% of people surveyed today have gone,
Yeah, 3 people.
You're the third.
Because you know the tall people like Caitlin Bassett and Aaron Sandlane, they get over people referring to their height. So I wondered if the same thing happened, even though pocket rocket is seen as good. There's an assertion of power and dynamism.
I'm absolutely relaxed. When I played sport as a kid, I was that kid that ran around the back all the time. Just ran lots
So
of
that's
energy.
why it's your OnlyFans name?
Yes.
Pocket rocket. Is that right?
I have a political question for you from my neighbour Tracy.
Well, that's better than pocket rocket.
She works at a primary school.
Yep.
She's not happy with you.
Yeah, sure.
Not the pocket rocket.
Cooling schools announcement.
Yeah.
All the schools around hers have been included, but not hers.
Yeah, look.
And they had no air conditioning in year 6, 3 class of the art room, the multi-room. So a whole heap of that, no air conditioning and not included.
What's Tracy's school?
East Fremantle.
Okay, we better look into that then.
I saw some cheap evaporative air conditioners at Bunnings the other day, so we just get them on them.
Call the Schools program. It's one of my favourites, right? It's like kids should be able to go to school and teachers should be able to go to work knowing that they're not going to cook inside their classroom.
Yeah.
This all began down in a primary school in my area.
Don't cook, they call
really
him.
A primary school.
Yeah.
And it was one of those schools that's designed so it lets in lots of natural light.
Oh, yeah,
And
great.
so one of the teachers literally recorded the temperature in the mid-30s in the classroom.
Wow.
And I said, this has got to stop. So we are rolling out our Call the Schools program right around Western Australia, starting with the hottest, and then we'll work our way through the rest.
Can I just say I don't like it because we grew up. This is my point. The kids get everything right. We grew up posted in demountables, and you're sweating on your page is wet. You can't write because it's so wet, and the teacher will say, "Shut up and put up with it." And now suddenly they all get air
it's character building.
No, Roger, no.
Yes.
No, it's turned him into this. We can't do that to another generation.
Yeah, the skin on your legs sticking to your plastic chairs. That's character building, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, Roger, I did see in today's West, not that I want to give them too much of airtime, but what's going on with the fishers and the rock lobster in particular, because they're coming for you.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, this is a piece of legislation that was passed by the other mob, and they gave it to us when we got into power in 2017 to implement. We looked at it. It's a dog of an act. It requires, for instance, recreational fishers to report to the Department of Fisheries all the fish they catch.
Oh.
So if you go, if you're camped off Rotto, you pick up a couple of crays, you have to then report that to the Department of Fisheries under these particular laws.
Wow.
So we looked at it. We tried to implement it as best we could, but it just simply couldn't be done.
Well, how can they check? They're not going to do a stock take of the ocean, are they?
So look, I appreciate that. Fishing's a tough industry to work in. I understand that, but look, our rock lobster fisheries is one of the most sustainable in the world, and of course, because of Labor governments, they can now export all their rock lobsters back to China, representing hundreds of millions of dollars to their industry. So look, I mean, I appreciate they work in a difficult industry, but I'm not sure they've got that much to complain about, to be frank.
And also, anytime they can have lobster, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, at the end of the day, all you can bring back, I've got something from working
No,
as
I have
lobster.
to eat
That's not
lobster
bad.
again.
It's like, oh, no, my wife works at the caviar factory.
Yeah, so look, we'll keep working with them to make sure we get laws which actually work.
And the Fremantle Port, what's going to happen there?
Okay, so ultimately Westport will come into being. So that will move all the container traffic down to Kwinana. Love Kwinana.
But sorry, I'm going to jump in because we've heard about this for 20 years.
Yes.
So are we
What's
another
the
10 to
timeline on
15
it?
years away?
Yeah, look, this is a huge project, right? We're only just now getting to the point where we can start building out the roads, the rail that has to feed into that whole area. You will see it start to construct over the next 5 years, and then ultimately we'll probably won't move down there till about the late 2030s, and that's the point that, of course, Fremantle Port will be chock-a-block. So we'll retire all the container traffic down to Kwinana, new bulk terminal down there as well, and that will mean that Fremantle can become this vibrant,
Like a leisure port,
amazing
essentially,
leisure port. Cruise ships will still stop in there,
cool.
but people think about that North Port area, that Northern Key, 250 hectares of land that will then be released for
Prime
residential,
real estate.
commercial, hospitality, tourism. It's going to be amazing. Absolutely stunning setting.
You know our best friend, Kate Walsh?
Yes, indeed, yeah.
Yeah, she's our best friend. So,
Kate and I, together all the time.
all
yeah.
the time. I played her hair last night. So I want to know, how's Hollywood in Perth going? Because Kate, I first spoke to Kate and she said she's so excited to work with you.
Oh, look, you look out at, you go to the Ballajura train station, you look out just over the way, you see this new film studio throwing itself out of the ground.
So how long before that's up and going?
Oh, it's going to be finished, I think, in the next few months.
I just think it's great because it's going to give people that are doing movies here a hub to be able to do all the in-studio stuff. And then
if you lure a Hemsworth
you can explore bloody WA, which we've got the most amazing settings for movies. Every different genre.
Yeah, so we're bringing the Whopper as part of ECU into the inner city. We identified the creative industries as one of those pillars of our diversified WA strategy, which means that people can get jobs across a whole range of industries rather than just farming and mining. Yep. So this is incredibly exciting.
Hey, mate.
Once the film studio comes into being, we're going to have this whole supply chain of creative industries, and you'll see movies made in WA on a regular basis.
And I do have to say, Kate Walsh, she's bloody great because if she's got such a great relationship with Netflix. You know, she's on their roster. She basically pumps out so much stuff for them. So you've got an in with Netflix.
Are you going to be offering tax incentives and things like that for it?
I'm not sure at this stage. We're getting the film studio built. We're getting Whopper stood up in the inner city. That's going to bring the city alive as well. 10,000 staff and students in the CBD each day. It's going to be such an exciting time.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Good on you, Cookie.
Well,
I love the Hollywood thing.
Good luck for the next 23 days as we lead into that state election.
An exciting time of the political cycle.
He's right about
8th, everyone.
the pocket rockets.
Remember, the children of your area in Kwinana and stuff, sausage off, is that what you're saying?
Well, I want to see the best sausage sizzle in Kwinana.
/ cupcake
sausage
stall.
sizzle, yeah.
Loves the
I love
cupcake as well.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Do you think pocket rocket people like being called pocket rockets? Because we think it's great, but you've been called a pocket rocket your whole life. Is that an insult to a pocket rocket? Because it's a positive thing, but it's a pocket rocket.
Amy, have you been referred to as a pocket rocket?
No, Amy's not a pocket rocket, I don't think. No. You have to be smaller than Amy.
So is she not pocket or not rocket?
How tall are you, Amy?
162 and Melissa is 152. So she's
you tower over
centimetres taller than shorter than you.
Mate.
That's lethal, isn't it?
Yeah, she's Gwendolyn from Game of Thrones.
Oh, yes.
Pocket rockets.
If you are one, are you offended by the term?
Have you been called a pocket rocket? Is it offensive? Shall we ask? Can we ask?
I think you did. I think you just did.
2410 pocket rocket.
Okay, tiny people.
I don't think it would be. I mean, I'm speaking from no experience,
yes.
but you look at people. Oh, it's a pocket
Don't you
rocket.
speak on behalf of
Isn't that a positive term? Like, Natalie's a pocket rocket. She's a machine. No? You don't like that?
If you do, give us a call. It's probably the easiest way to get in for a chance to win,
cash
money
in a
or
car.
a vehicle.
I know. Which,
we're calling it money or vehicle.
Today's the last day to get involved on that. All right, 13 24 10. If you get called a pocket rocket, do you like that or not?
Is it insulting? Oh, and also, really tall people, big fella. I sometimes get insulted by big fella. I'm just like, I'm not that big, and I'm not a fella. No,
You are compared to a pocket rocket.
Oh, yeah. But big fella to me means like Hagrid. To me.
Yeah, Aaron Sanderland's brother always calls everyone big fella. Everyone's a big fella to him.
Even a pocket rocket.
And that's weird because he is a big fella.
He's officially a big fella.
Pocket rockets and big fellas.
Unite. Give us a call. Do you like the term?
Now, Nathan, you were concerned that if you're a guy, perhaps that a pocket rocket might be like...
I have never referred to a man as a pocket rocket. In my mind, I feel it's a female thing, and then a guy, and then you got big fella, and I don't know what you call the little guys. Maybe little guys.
I think a pocket rocket for a female, that's endearing to me. Oh, she's a pocket rocket.
See, a pocket rocket's
That's a real
when you're talking about a guy in a pocket rocket, you just seem like a penis. That's a pocket rocket. A pocket rocket. Well, think about it. Pocket rocket, that's what you would refer to.
Why don't we ask some of the folks, the teeny tiny folks? Cherie, hello.
Hi, how are you this morning?
Cherie, good.
Cherie, how tall are you?
5'1".
And do you like being called a pocket rocket?
I don't find it offensive, no.
No.
Are you a machine, are you, Cherie, the way you get about and get stuck into life?
Yes, I like to think so.
How many times will you be called a pocket rocket, say, in a week?
Oh, I don't know. I don't count it. I've never taken any notice.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I just thought being called the same thing for so long and just being referred to just mainly by your size would get really... It'll wear you out after a while.
Okay, so if people go, hey, big fella, that's just your size. But if you're a pocket rocket, you've got some real
power.
Zing and power.
that's right.
It equates to athleticism, I feel.
You're a go-getter.
You're a go-getter.
Exactly.
Yeah, but a tiny one.
I can't see why anybody finds it offensive.
Well,
Okay,
No,
great.
I think it's positive.
Well done. Thank you, Cherie, you little pocket rocket. Kelly's in Melville. Hi, Kel.
Hi.
Cal.
So how tall are you, Cal?
5 foot. Look, I tend to say 5'2", but that's probably just because I go on my TV shows or wear heels.
Cal, do you consider yourself a pocket rocket?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Do you
Definitely.
get called it a lot?
Don't find it. Yeah, I do. And my nickname's Shorty. Like, so it's just your heart's something you can't change. So, and I am a go-getter, and yeah, pocket rocket. Absolutely.
This is really interesting because we know Caitlin Bassett very well.
Yes.
And
Not a pocket rocket.
And yeah, but like...
Or a big fella.
I know that Caitlin sometimes gets exhausted over people referring to her size, you know? So I just thought, being referred to by just mainly one feature in your size would just grate on you. No.
I've got teenagers, and so now everyone says the beauty of it is that we get called siblings a lot because
So people think you're a child. That's nice. Yeah.
I don't think, and I used to, people used to rest beer cans on my head if you go out, or
That's insulting.
No, you wouldn't have loved that one.
You're a side table.
I know, yeah, just make. But other than that, size, it bothered me more when I was little, and now, I kind of embrace it, and my number plates refer to my size, and I,
Okay. Here's a question. Can you fit into children's clothes or shoes or something?
Yes.
That must be amazing because they are so much cheaper.
So much cheaper, yeah.
So do you own some children's clothes and a favourite pair of shoes that have wheels, like roller skates in the bottom of them?
Mainly sneakers and T-shirts. I can't really... Yeah, I'm not that small, so...
tell me about your favourite pair of Dora the Explorer shoes.
What size?
Little wheelies. Just get around on a
Cal, what size is your foot?
6, 5.5, 6.
Yeah.
So
Hey.
you can get into the biggest kids.
Yeah.
Kelly, how tall is your husband?
Single.
Oh, you're single. Okay, right.
But funnily enough, my kids, I chose dated tall men when I was younger because I wanted my kids to not be that small.
Genetically, that's not a given, is it?
No.
So, what happened with your children's heights? They're tall?
They're both tall.
Yeah.
Yep, they're both tall.
I mean, you've got to remember Simone Biles, the greatest gymnast of all time, 4'8".
Oh, yeah.
4'8".
Oh, yeah.
She is
She's a pocket rocket.
man.
Yeah.
She's a machine.
So, you know.
Yeah. If there are any pocket rockets out there that the name does upset them,
Yeah. We're sorry.
well, we've had 2 people say it doesn't, so...
Yeah, that's right. You're wrong.
It's the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
So, read a couple of stories this morning that have got a bit of a link.
Story time.
Very interesting. A Sydney homeowner, right? So he's filmed the dramatic moment that he tracked down an old man for keying his Tesla. Okay? Now, the people that are keying the Teslas are old and they don't know how Teslas work. Teslas are basically film studios on wheels.
They are.
They record every angle and all that sort of stuff. So this guy has gotten the footage. He's gone to where he knows that he's seen the old man before, never had a problem. He's gone to where the flats are and he's knocked on every door to find the old man. Then he found the old man and then he confronted with him. The old man said, "No, that wasn't me." And then he said, "Wait there, why were you walking past my car?" And then the old man referred to the fact of, "Oh no, I was just walking past your car." And then he remembered walking past the car. And then he goes, "Mate, I've got footage of you keying it, blah, blah, blah." So the reason why we think the old man was keying his car, because this guy he lives down the street. He once got permission from someone that lived in those flats where the old bloke lives that he could park his car there.
In a visitor's bay?
In a visitor's bay.
In
a complex that he doesn't live with.
Yes. So the visitors' bays are for everybody, not just for one person to say you can park
But
there.
also the visitors' bays are for visitors who live in that building.
Yes. Or who are visiting people in that.
Yes.
Don't get him started.
Don't get people claiming visitors' bays, mate.
We got him started.
Well, rent a place that has as many cars as you got. You don't own the visitors' bay. It happens at every complex. And it is. For me, it's touchy. For other people, it will be touchy. And this guy just has decided that he got permission from someone.
But he got permission.
Who didn't check with anyone else.
No.
So they decided on their behalf that they're going to give somebody, and I don't believe that ever happened anyway.
So it's a communal space, just to be clear. It's a communal space.
For anyone that lives in the building, for their visitors to come and park temporarily.
Oh, no, yeah.
Not for someone that lives down the street, not in their building.
Permanently.
To park permanently in there.
Yes.
So I get that. And
I mean, it's not justification for criminal damage.
No.
Which is what the old guy did.
But I understand where the anger comes from. And then the same sort of thing happened here in Perth. So Lovers Deli and Canteen, they're trading at the moment under a special licence. It's in White Gum Valley. They released the place from the agent as a
lunch bar
/ cafe.
So it's takeaway food.
And they were like, no.
Oh, no.
It previously had been a lunch bar, but the advertisement from the
says lunch bar
agent
cafe. No, okay, we want to do a cafe. No worries. They've gone out there. They've fitted it out. Blah blah blah. Anyway, the Fremantle authorities have come by and they said, "What are you doing? We've gotten so many complaints about the residents in the street saying that parking is being filled up. You cannot be a cafe. This is a lunch bar. Lunch bar is takeaway. Cafe is sit down, which means that people are going to be parking here for a longer period of time." So, but the agent that lives in the place said that
it was advertised as a lunch bar / cafe.
So somebody told them, "No, you can do that. No problem. Cafe."
Yeah.
Unbelievable. This is the worst thing when somebody gives you authority to do something and then you find out they had no authority to give you the authority to do something. And that happened to me just after Big Brother. All of us Big Brother people were doing a concert down in Canberra at front of Parliament House. We got there early for rehearsals. This girl in a wheelchair was working there from what we could see. And then she said, "All right, housemates, very officially, come with us. We're going to take you on a tour to Parliament House."
Nice.
So we go, okay, no worries. So we go up to Parliament House and at this stage, we're getting everything paid for, right? So no one really has money on them. We go into the cafe area, into the restaurant area up there, and then she goes, "All right, everyone get something to eat." And then we turned around for payment. And she goes, "Oh, no, you all got to pay." That's when the first alarm bells went off. We went, "This is odd," because, everything's sort of put on. Then we go down the front, and then I made a joke of, "Oh, look at that fountain. Wouldn't it be funny to do the reenactment of the start of the Friends film clip?" And then she goes, "You're allowed to. Go for it." So we all take our shoes off, and we're on there splashing around, like having the best time. Security guards came bowling up to us and said, "Get the F out of there." And then we found out this girl had nothing to do with anything. She wasn't even with
She's
anyone.
taking you around
She just
Parliament
came
House.
because she heard we're there and decided to go, "Come on," and not corral us and take us as an official tour person.
You just got to act official. You can get away with anything.
Are you kidding me? Is that not crazy? So we got in trouble for the fact that we thought that the person that said that we could said we could, and we couldn't.
13 24 10. Did somebody tell you that you could? But
And you couldn't. And they had no authority.
But you trusted them in that moment, whatever it might have been, in whatever scenario.
Louis, hello.
Well, hello.
Well,
Hey, Louis. You
Hello,
sound
Louis.
posh. All right, Louis, what happened?
Well, Natalie, let me tell you. let's see. I got here, right, in 1988 from England. I put on an English accent just so you know what's going on.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Got it, Louis.
That's a while ago, Louis.
Yeah.
All right, ready?
Yeah. Fortunately for me, I met a lot of good people and right people when I first got here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, I was working in the entertainment industry, doing a bit of modelling. I was working in nightclubs and hospitality and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I met some good people,
Okay, yeah.
I met this one geezer. I gravitated towards English people because I'm an English person.
Yes.
I met this one geezer. He's a good-looking bloke, right?
Yeah.
Tall, muscular, all that jazz, and he's working in the nightclub.
I didn't work there.
And And he was at a restaurant, and he said, "Come to the restaurant. Come to the restaurant. I'm running it. You can have dinner."
Yeah.
Because I did him a few solids, and he was doing me a solid. So I went to the restaurant. We had dinner. Not a problem. And it was free. And it was a posh restaurant in Deadlands that just opened up, a French one.
Fantastic.
And I was like, lovely jubbly. Then I said to him, "Mate, I'm going back to England. I've got to see my family because I miss me mummy."
Yes.
Right? So he said to me, "Listen, you can stay at my gaff in England for the night before you go to Birmingham."
Oh, that's
because
good.
I'm from Birmingham, you see, and that's why I talk funny.
Yes, Louis.
Right then. So I went, "Yes, solid, mate, cool bananas." So me and the missus jumped on the plane, 24 hours later, we land in England and get our bags, jump on the train, rock up to this address.
Yeah. Yep. So you're not. We just cut out. So you knock on the door. You go there. You knock on the door. Take it from there.
So you're a friend of Simon's, yeah?
Yeah. And he goes, "Who are you?" And I'm like, "Didn't Simon tell you to come in?" He goes, "Simon? Simon who?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, Simon, blah, 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 blah. And he goes, "Oh, yeah, I knew that guy a few years ago."
Yeah.
He goes, he stayed here for about a week or so. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. And I said, "But Simon said we could stay here for the night and da-da-dee-dee-da-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee." And he goes, "Mate, you've got your wires crossed." I haven't spoke to Simon for donkeys yet. And I was like, "Man."
Louis.
Here we are, knackered, right?
Yeah.
Got our bags, just rocked up to this geezer's gaff, and he's going, I don't know what's going on. Fortunately for me,
Yes.
Simon is a smooth talker.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So I ring Simon. Simon talks to this dude. It's 1 o'clock Aussie time, 9 o'clock UK time. And he smooth talked that guy into us staying at his desk.
Hey, he actually made it happen. What? That's amazing.
But Louis, I would have felt like I was not wanted. I wouldn't even bothered
100%.
about
You know
it.
why,
Just
Sean?
down the
Because
street.
he wasn't wanted.
No.
No, we weren't wanting to talk. Imagine, right?
Yeah.
You're a mild, medium Caucasian geezer, and this 6'2" black guy rocks up with his woman and suitcases at your front door at 9 o'clock in the morning, going, "Hello, mate, I'm going to stay the night." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get
It's
you
a
now.
killer. You know what I mean? So,
I'm opening the door.
yeah, no, I'm just happy he did open the door. It was cold as well. Do you know what I mean?
Cold as.
Mate.
A nightmare. Anyway, he reluctantly let us in.
Yep.
We had a cup of tea. We watched a few Mr. Bean. It was VHS back then, so we watched a few Mr. Bean VHSs, gathered our thoughts, booked the hotel, and then 4 hours later, chipped out of there. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I know what you mean.
We know what you mean. That is one of the best told stories I've ever heard. And you, Louis, you call us all the time.
Yes.
Mate, bloody
I
hell.
don't call you all the time. I could call you all the time.
No, I said you must call
he's
us.
saying
You
Wait,
have
he's-
to call us all the time
He's
now.
giving you authority. Just
Okay.
pretend his name's Simon.
Yeah. We'll drop you off the keys.
Gotcha, not a
Yeah,
problem.
let yourself in any
Well,
time.
I actually, I knew Nat before she started her radio.
I know.
career.
I've just
Hello,
figured
Nat.
out who you are. used to,
you?
used to
Cool,
run the
man.
pub quiz down at Clancy's in Freo on a Tuesday night, didn't
Come on,
you?
mate.
Hey?
Well, here's the question. Who's been funny this morning on the radio? Who's the answer? Louis.
The funniest. Well, you see, there's a hidden drama, isn't there? Because someone's ruling the roost, and they don't have testicles.
Hey,
Right?
you
And
haven't
then
checked.
There's a secondary person that's a little bit of a verbal bully with blonde hair, but taller than the other geezer with blonde hair. And the other geezer's very, very fit, knows his stuff, but he's pretty humble. There you go, Sean. All right, geez.
Oh, good on you, geezer.
Humble. Good on you, Louie. Thanks, buddy. Kerry, we're going to move on to you. What's happening?
Well, I went to Belgium to visit some friends, my husband and I. So there was the 4 adults, and one of the adults that we visited has their little baby in a knapsack on his back. So they took us to Amsterdam, and we're wandering around Amsterdam, and he said, come and I'll show you the ladies of the night.
Yeah. Yes.
So, we went to look at the ladies of the night, sitting in big, shop windows, full glass,
Sean hasn't been there,
apparently.
Yeah, Sean's not familiar.
He
doesn't
know
He's
where
going to have to explain it a bit more.
Into their next to nothing, they were sitting there.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I said to our friend, can I take photos? And he said, yeah, of course you can take photos. Go on, start taking them. So here I am clicking away in a bit of a distance, not right in front, and this woman started banging on the shop window, screaming and carrying on, and then a security guard came flying out with an Alsatian, and the 4 of us,
There's a Belgian Shepherd.
Sorry. Yeah.
So the 4 of us split up and started running all over the place.
Yes.
And when the guy caught, our friend's running with a baby in his knapsack.
That would be funny to see.
He's the one that told us
That
to
said
take
it was
the
okay.
photos.
Yes.
Yeah, so anyway, we met up a few streets later, all out of breath, and up on the wall, about 10 foot high, a little plaque saying no photos.
No photos.
Yeah.
Oh, Kerry.
And I still have the photos to this day.
That's so funny that they set the dogs on you.
How long's it been? When we were younger, how long's it been since you've been chased and have to split up and then meet someone else?
I know, right?
We used to do it all the time.
All the time.
Yeah. Just scattering to the wind. Thanks, Kerry.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.